You think you understand money. But in 2008, the entire global economy almost ended in 72 hours. And you never saw it coming. This is the story of what happened exactly in the 2008 economic crisis, the greatest financial collapse since the Great Depression. And it started with a lie everyone believed. The official story? Banks gave loans to qualified buyers. The housing market grew naturally, and everyone played by the rules. That's the lie they sold you. Here's the dirty secret. Banks were giving mortgages to anyone with a pulse. No job, no income, no problem. They called them ninja loans, and they handed them out like candy. Why would banks do something so insane? Because they weren't keeping the risk. They were selling it. They bundled these toxic loans into fancy packages called mortgage-backed securities and sold them to investors worldwide. But wait, it gets worse. Investment banks took these garbage mortgages and got rating agencies to stamp them as AAA, the same rating as US Treasury bonds. Safe as gold, they said. Pension funds, retirement accounts, foreign governments, everyone bought in. They thought they were investing in the American dream. They were actually buying a ticking time bomb. Then, reality hit. People with ninja loans, the ones who never should have gotten mortgages, started defaulting. One by one, then by the thousands, then by the millions. Housing prices collapsed. Those AAA-rated securities? Worthless. And because banks had leveraged themselves 30-1, they didn't just lose money. They lost everything. Bear Stearns collapsed in March 2008. Then in September, Lehman Brothers, a 158-year-old institution, filed for bankruptcy. $600 billion gone overnight. The largest bankruptcy in American history. But here's what they don't tell you. The banks knew. Internal emails showed executives calling these loans toxic waste and time bombs, and they sold them anyway. The contagion spread globally. Banks stopped lending to each other. They didn't know who was holding the toxic debt. Credit markets froze. Companies couldn't make payroll. The entire financial system was on life support. September 2008. The government had a choice. Let the entire system collapse or bail out the banks with taxpayer money. They chose option 2. $700 billion, the largest bailout in history. Too big to fail, they said. But here's the sick part. While millions lost their homes, their jobs, their retirement, bank executives kept their bonuses. Some even got raises. The damage? 8.7 million Americans lost their jobs. 10 million lost their homes. $19.2 trillion in household wealth vanished. And it wasn't just America. The crisis went global. Europe's banks collapsed. Iceland's entire banking system imploded. Greece, Spain, Ireland, dominoes falling. What started as American greed became a worldwide depression. And here's the part that should make you furious. Almost nobody went to jail. Not the CEOs who knew, not the rating agencies who lied, not the regulators who looked the other way. One guy. They sent one mid-level banker to prison. One out of thousands who caused a global catastrophe. Justice? That was the real lie. But here's the hidden impact that affects you right now. The Federal Reserve printed trillions to save the economy. That money? It inflated assets. Houses, stocks, everything got more expensive. That's why your generation can't afford homes. That's why wealth inequality exploded. The 2008 crisis didn't end. You're still paying for it, while the people who caused it are richer than ever. And the system that caused it? Still intact. Same banks, same rating agencies, same regulators asleep at the wheel. They added some rules, but the game hasn't changed. In fact, these banks are bigger now than they were in 2008. Too big to fail became too big to exist. And nobody stopped them. They learned the lesson. Take massive risks, and taxpayers will bail you out. So what happened exactly in the 2008 economic crisis? Greed happened. Corruption happened. A system designed to extract wealth from ordinary people happened. And it's still happening. The takeaway? The economy isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. For them, not for you. And until people understand what happened exactly in the 2008 economic crisis, it will happen again.